recently cut off one of my white friends because he was saying some very disrespectful shit about black women. A couple days ago, me and one of my ex-bros decided to meet up and catch up because we haven't seen each other in about a month and a half. We went to the mall, got some food, shit was going well. I asked him what's new with his life and he said, yeah, I got this new manager job up in Thornton. I was like, awesome, congratulations, that's amazing. He asked me, what about you? And I said, I'm graduating college in a few months. I am very excited. Cybersecurity degree. Oh, and I also dabble in TikTok, nothing special. And I was like, oh, you're a TikToker? What do you do? Many things actually. I teach people the true essence of black masculinity. I am a storyteller, I am a writer, a poet, and I share my philosophy. And I also spread awareness and racial awareness that goes on in the country and around the world. I also share my stories of how I overcame self-hatred, and I teach other people how to conquer self-hatred. And he said, oh wow, that's incredible. Thank you. Fast forward, he decided to ask me, so are you talking to anyone? And I said, no, not really. Kind of fucked. I mean, I had talking stages, but they ended horribly. And I said, what about you? And it was like, yeah, I've been dating this one girl for a while, man. She's perfect for me. Wow, congratulations. What does she look like? He took out a picture and I was like, wow, she's very pretty. White chick, blonde hair, blue eyes. There you go. And he said to me, you know, man, you've been single for a long time. It's very surprising. I'm like, ouch. Well, thanks, I guess. He said, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's so many girls that would go for you. I was curious and I asked him, what do you mean by that? Granted, I'm not assuming he's saying anything racist. My ass has been single for 3 years now. I'm genuinely curious what makes him say this. And he said, there's so many white girls that would go for you. And I'm like, pause. Then I asked him, I was like, what do you think my type is? He looked dead in my fucking eyes and said, I thought you liked white girls. Holy shit. I was like, what made you think I like white girls? And then he said, remember that one time you saw that white girl who you thought was very pretty? And I said, yeah, she was. Side note, you can be a white girl, I can find you attractive and still not date you. I think that's a common misconception that a lot of people have. You can be attractive and I still want nothing to do with you. But back on point. I basically told him the same thing. I can find her attractive, but that doesn't mean I want to date her. And it was like, okay, fair, but you have to understand, like, snow bunnies, bro, they like you. And I said straight to his face, that's crazy because I don't like them. And it is what it is. And then he said, what are you looking for in a woman? Like, what's your type like? Then I responded by saying, it depends. Are you talking about race or personality? He said race. I'm like, okay, cool. I like black women. Asian women are pretty attractive. Latinas, Arabs are pretty attractive. But if I had to pick and choose and have a preference, it would definitely be black women across the fucking board, no question. And this is when I lost fucking hope because I tried to educate this guy. Then he had the audacity to say to me, I am surprised you like black women. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't really have white friends. I had a total of 3. It's down to 2 after this conversation. And now I gotta double check with my other 2 white friends to make sure they ain't secretly racist. Back on story. I said to him, why is it surprising that I like black women? And he said, because black women are very ghetto and loud. What the fuck do you mean by ghetto, Brian? And then he said, well, black women come out very masculine and you don't seem like the type of person that's attracted to that. At this point, I'm letting this motherfucker speak. I don't see you dating a black woman because you don't act like a black guy. What the fuck you mean I don't act like a black guy? And he was like, well, you know, you don't. So I'm not a gang member? When the fuck was this? When I first met this guy, he was not like this. At least we never had this type of conversation, but I assumed that he had a good head on his shoulders. Why? Because he was liberal, he doesn't like Donald Trump, and most importantly, he stands for equality, or he likes black people. In the beginning, he showed no signs. And granted, I've been friends with this guy for like 6 months. Joke's on me, I guess. Joke's on fucking me. He continued to say a lot of the black guys at our high school, they were super hood. Like, I can see you dating a white girl. I can see you dating an Asian, but a black woman? And I'm like, dude, I am more obsessed over black women than anyone else at this point. For all the people that is watching this, I swear to everything that is holding on this planet, you can ask any of my friends, I am constantly talking about black women. I have a healthy obsession over black women. At this point, I just told him, look, I do not appreciate this conversation that you're having with me because your ideology and your definition on black women is incredibly disrespectful because not all black women are fucking ghetto, hood, and loud and masculine or whatever the fuck you want to say. There are plenty, and I mean plenty of black women on this planet who are very demure, modest, old money, elegant, and very feminine, kind, and secure. There's also many black women who defends themselves, who cares for themselves, who doesn't just love anybody that doesn't deserve it. I kept it a buck with him. Look, I cannot be friends with you anymore because this is very inappropriate. I gotta cut strings with you, bro. And it was like, no, wait, can we talk about this? No, I don't want to talk about this, bro. Because all of this that you got going on, it shows to me that you have been thinking like this for a long time. And because you were thinking like this for a long time, I know me telling you isn't going to change anything. Because this mindset that you have has been around for a hot minute. And you did a really good job at hiding it. So I cut that motherfucker off. Haven't spoken to that motherfucker since. It does hurt a little bit because I'm like, damn, I thought it was a good dude. But also, this kind of goes to show that's like, when it comes to white people, bro, it's you gotta double make sure. You have to double check, and you have to keep checking this shit regardless. You gotta keep checking them because one of these days they might slip up. But it is what it is, though. It's Onyx, and I'm gone. Unfortunate.